So this is the 7th chord edition of What Key Is My Song In? I'm going to explain a little bit about how this chart works. The rows going across are your scales. So the blue, white, blue, white, blue, white, those are all your scales. And there's only 12 notes in music, so there's only 12 scales there. Now, when you have a scale and someone says, what key is your song in? They're talking about the first note of the scale. So the first blue row there, you see the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That would be all the notes that belong to the key of C. The next row, the white row, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, those would be all the notes that belong to the key of G. So whatever the first note is, that is what the name of the key is, and the letters that follow that are the notes that belong to that scale. So the scale is the 8 notes, and the key is the first note. That's how they name the key. Now, the columns you have going down are the chord types. So if you look in the second row there, you see Maj7, that's major 7, and then you have a lowercase m7, that's minor 7. So going across, you have major 7, minor 7, minor 7, major 7, 7, or 7th, or some people call it the dominant 7th, and then you have minor 7 and minor 7 flat 5. So those are the chord types you get out of a scale when you're dealing with 7th chords. How a 7th chord is built is a lesson on its own, but basically you take the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th note of a scale, and that is how you make your 7th chords. So the order of chords is always the same. Major 7, minor 7, minor 7, major 7, 7, minor 7, flat 5. So to give you a little test on how to use this, let's just say you have a song and you have these 4 chords in it. You have a G major 7, a B minor 7, an E minor 7, and a D major 7. And you want to know what key that song's in. So the first thing you have to do is find the keys that have a G major 7 chord in it. And as you can see, the key of G has it on its first chord, and the key of D has it as its 4th chord. So it's one of those 2 keys. You're not too sure just yet. Then you go to the next chord. You have a B minor 7. Now you start finding all the keys that have the B minor 7 in it. So you have the key of A, which its second chord is B minor 7. In the key of G, the 3rd chord is B minor 7. And in the key of D, the 6th chord is B minor 7. So it can be one of those. Then you go to your 3rd chord, E minor 7. So now you're looking at that one, and you find all your E minor 7s. So you'll have it in the key of D as the 2nd chord, in the key of C, the 3rd chord, and then the key of G, the 6th chord. So you really need to know the D major 7 to really seal the deal. And there you have it. There's only one key that has all 4 of those chords in it, and that's the key of D, which has the D major 7, the E minor 7, the G major 7, and the B minor 7. So once you have your collection of chords, you can figure out what key your song belongs to. And of course, you can have a song that is in many different keys. And one of the questions I get asked the most is, if you can only find a 7th chord on the 5th note of a scale, why can you have a blues song that has all 7th chords? So if you're doing a blues in the key of A, you'll have an A7 chord followed by a D7 chord followed by an E7 chord. So those are all 7th chords. So what is happening there is you're basically playing in 3 different keys at the same time. Or not at the same time, but you're playing in 3 different keys as the song is going along. So you're looking at, when you're playing the A7 chord, you're actually playing in the key of D. When you're playing a D chord, a D7 chord, you're actually playing in the key of G. And then when you switch to the E7 chord, you're actually playing in the key of A. So as you're doing a blues, technically you're in 3 different keys. Now, of course, your mind doesn't have to think that way. You can just, many people just play an A blues scale and it sounds great over those chords. And, obviously if it sounds good, it is good. It doesn't matter if the theory works or not. But if you want to add some extra notes into your soloing, you can certainly play within those keys as those chords are passing by, and that's what they do a lot in jazz. Is they solo over the chords rather than just soloing within a key, so that you have more options of notes. Now, I did do a blues soloing exercise called "Playing Outside of the Blues Box Pattern," and it touches on this about adding some of the extra notes that aren't in the blues scale. I'll throw up a link here to the blues soloing outside of the blues box pattern that contains all these extra notes that when you're playing in one 7th chord, you're actually in a different key. So this lesson will actually, you'll have an audio example of what happens when you're switching from one key to another as you're playing these different seventh chords. You can download this chart at nathanfleet.com. I have both versions, the regular What Key Is My Song In with your major and minor chords, and I put the seventh chord one up there so you can download either or. They're really good for a handy reference, and leave them in your guitar case, or if you're studying, just kind of put it next to the piano, and it's a really fast way to find out what key your song's in. So in closing, you can only find a major seventh chord on the first and fourth note of a major scale, a minor seventh on the second, third, and sixth note of a major scale. Those are the only three places you can find them. A seventh chord on the fifth note of a major scale, and a minor 7 flat 5 on the seventh note of a major scale, and that's it.